Looking forward to that. I hope the couch absorbs that. It would make sense that your fart would smell brothy. What are we drinking today, Joe?
We got Tailgate, win or lose, salted caramel moonshine.
Sounds gross. I bet you it's not, though.
It says win on it, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
God,
7,
really
8,
your fart smells
9,
like soup,
10,
dude.
11, 12, 13, 14, 16,
Oh, like a hearty chicken noodle.
17. This says at least 17 times. It's
Christ.
actually a Dan Patrick
Is it now?
drink. Yeah, it says on it, it's made by Dan Patrick. So,
Thank you, Daniel.
yeah, Dan Patrick, also known as Randall Morgan in the hit TV show. It's not a TV show at all. It's That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. But
Sorry.
Dan Patrick is in a few films with Adam Sandler.
I'm trying to stay so focused right now. Tailgate.
Well, let's try it. The salted caramel.
It's got basketball hoops. It's got all kind of
40% alcohol?
sports paraphernalia. Oh, because tailgate. Okay, that makes
Tailgate.
sense. Now it's all coming together now.
It's win or lose. With
I like the bottle.
It's got a little
very classic
smokiness
looking.
to it.
Ooh, it's got a mist at the bottom, just dancing on the
Yeah.
bottom of the bottle like that. It looks like someone,
Smoky.
yeah, casted a
It smells
spell moments
nice.
ago.
Nice caramel.
It does smell good.
Yeah,
I
not
was
like
afraid
my
that's
fart.
what your fart smelled like.
No.
Okay, cheers to the
Cheers.
2 Cubes podcast.
And
Puff
listeners.
Daddy. Ooh.
Oh, dude, that looked brutal.
That was
Slide that bottle over so
yeah, we'll get it up there. All right.
Oh man.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's strong.
Yeah, it's like syrup.
It's strong. What percentage is that?
40. It's 80 proof. It's not as strong as it tastes.
I would have said 50.
It doesn't taste that much like alcohol strong. To me, it's that caramel it's a good flavor, but it is powerful.
Yeah. I always thought moonshine, you had to be like 90% to be considered moonshine.
Moonshine these days.
That's
has changed.
real moonshine, right?
Yeah, moonshine's changed these days.
But that being said, would you like to go first? I believe I went first on the last review.
If you want, we can just talk over each other and do it at the same time.
Okay. All right. On the count of 3.
I don't know what I have yet, so if you got one, go.
We're on like different scales.
Yeah, I don't know what I have yet, so go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna go 18.2 bullet holes in a mailbox at a 32.
All right.
Yeah.
This is a 750 milliliter bottle, so I'll give this a 750 out of 1,017.
I can't even do the math on that one.
I can, if you want.
Why are we dressed like white trash this episode?
Because we're doing tailgates.
Should I just go shirtless this episode? I feel like I would fit in better.
Ooh, I like that. I got the hat. We can
Um,
down for
It is getting kind of
Alabama hood. It is very warm in here.
I wasn't when I first showed up, and now I'm like, yeah.
I have been sitting in here now for a little
You are
while.
a fucking human space eater, man.
It's terrible.
All right, so what do we got on the docket for today?
Okay, cool. I guess we'll stick with the redneck theme. I found out the other day, listening to a podcast, that when you graduate from
That
certain
America is
rehabs,
the #1 country in the world.
when you graduate from certain rehabs,
Yeah.
they make you pick an exit song.
Oh,
To, like,
I did
walk
hear
out to.
this. I did hear this. Saint Germain was talking about this on a podcast the other day.
That's literally who I heard it from.
Yeah, that dude rules. Yeah.
Yes. So you gotta a song you'd pick or a best song?
Man, I should have thought about this.
I would
and
pick
I didn't.
Drugs by Ty Verdez would be cool. Just because I love the song Drugs by Ty Verdez. But
I just heard
Amy Winehouse.
a couple months ago. I learned of this song called "I'm an Alcoholic" that I really like, and the lyrics of the song are pretty funny, but it's really just the delivery of the lyrics that are great. It's like
Right?
great. Yeah, these lyrics are great. Kind of fits in
Ricky
too.
Bobby.
Yeah, these acoustic guitars and like it's real twangy. Like I like it.
It sounds like a Skyline chili commercial. With
No, the Skyline Chili commercial was like ripping like electric guitars. Like I'm talking about Skyline. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, it was Gold Star. Gold Star Chili.
I was trying to get into it. I'm more of a
This
Skyline
one,
guy.
this one is. It's called "I'm an Alcoholic," and just the way the guy delivers the line "I'm an alcoholic" is so good. He's like, "I'm an alcoholic." I don't know. It's great. That might be mine, but I think that might go against
What about
what
that?
the rehab facility.
What
is.
about that? I'm on a 24-hour champagne diet. I fucking challenge you to try it. That like hype song
Yeah.
with that, like Charlemagne.
What's the Cream song? Cocaine. Can I do that one?
I think that's just Clapton.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah. That song does rule though.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I'm
what
not a big
saying.
Clapton guy, but that song's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's some fun ones definitely to be had. Again, there's the obvious Rehab with Amy Winehouse,
Yeah.
but
I'm trying to think of like a different angle than just going hardcore drug song. Like I don't know, is songs about people
it's raining.
songs about people being disappointed in you. Songs about like
I get that.
how this probably isn't gonna work.
Cleaning out my closet.
Jack's over there like feverishly googling things. I'm wondering what he's looking up.
No,
I'm editing.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I think he may be making sure he's not having a kid right now.
Yeah, also that at any fucking moment.
Well, I'm sorry, I forget how far along Nikki is. How
14th, April 14th. Is
April
the due date.
14th.
Yeah,
wow.
but like it's any minute.
Basically,
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
we have 2 weeks.
We're on call.
At
Like
any moment.
if she were to have it tomorrow, like it would be like barely premature. It'd be like
No.
it'd be like,
It would be, yeah.
It'd be like, I mean, I guess technically it's premature, but not really.
It's a wild thing. Like I thought
Yeah.
it was 9 months for pregnancy
No,
But it's really closer to 10, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it typically closer? Yeah.
because they go off of your last period.
Well, yeah, because
No.
40
I thought you were
weeks.
gonna go last time when you it's 7.
Because it's 40 weeks. So it's
Yeah, it's 40 weeks. So it's
so like 4 weeks
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
month is 10 months.
Yeah.
but I was in the whole thing like, oh, it's 9 months. And then we went to the doctor and they're like, oh, you're 9 months pregnant. And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Jack's
is
like, any goddamn second this is going on.
I wanna ask you a question, but I'm so afraid it's gonna like make you mad.
that? Make me mad?
I'm letting you know now, they make you do full self-service now. It's like
So
it's like
Jack,
CBS. There is no workers.
I'm gonna do it because it's the trash episode. Jack, I'm gonna ask you, do you remember the squirt that did it?
Yes, I did.
Like like when she told you that she was pregnant, were you like, yeah, I thought that one did it?
Basically, there's a
I'm not gonna ask you to describe it, Jack.
no, I'm not. There's
I just thought that was a good question to ask.
But tell us as much as you feel you want to.
there is an app out.
But speak slowly.
Oh, it tells you the day.
Yeah, there's an app that basically like it tracks your period. That's the whole point of it. But
I'm gonna start
You
using
drop
it.
a little
should.
pin on the days that you somebody
no,
dropped a load in here.
there's like the perfect day that has like a little red flower that's like
Yeah.
that's the perfect day you're ovulating or whatever, and if you do it on this day you have the highest
It's
chance.
cute that you said ovulating.
Yeah, I know. It's
Whatever it is.
ovulating, but it's fine.
Ovulating.
It's okay. I'm paying attention. I'm making eye contact.
Who passes health class, dude?
Peter Laneza taught me how to do math, so don't worry about it.
That's true.
One
Health
day-
class
one day-
is like a gimme, you know.
One day
Like,
driver's ed and health
I
class.
called him my
I think it's if you just don't get anybody pregnant or you don't get an STD, you pass health class.
my first 8th grade. It's my first health teacher. Like first guy who was teaching us like sex stuff.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. Laneza, but for some reason one
There's
day.
a joke in there somewhere, but we'll get back to it.
Well, for some reason
Just
one day
everyone
after
called him
school.
gay.
Well, yeah, pretty much. But one day after school, he was leaving, and I was like, "All right, Pete, see you later, man." And he was like, "The fuck was that, dude?"
What? Because you called him by his first name?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like,
we did that. We did that to teachers all the time.
Well,
It always
yeah.
bugged him out.
dude, he hated me. And
Just
I was
because
just
you
like,
called him Pete.
"Yo, see you later, Pete." And he
Pete
was like,
Laniza? That's so.
Yeah.
There's something sleazy about
Yeah.
that name, but I can't put my finger on what it
and
is.
I think he was actually kind of a cool dude, but he just dressed like he was a fucking dick. So we just made fun of him. Like,
Style was different back then, man.
no, it wasn't style because he was. I guess he was like, "Dude, I'm a frat bro who's trying to keep this fucking gym teacher job."
Yeah.
So he came in like full khakis, like tucked in tight ass pants every day, and like talked like, "Goddamn this!" And
I gotta say that khakis and a tucked in polo is pretty standard. Teacher
wasn't a polo.
attire.
Wasn't a polo. Full sleeves, button down, tie.
He was a
all
football
the time.
coach, not
And he was a football coach.
so
yeah.
you could kind of put the two together.
I mean, tie these days in a public school is pretty crazy. Like I went for an interview the other day. Well, I went for an interview a couple years ago, like 2 years ago. What?
I just thought like it's the same memory. You're like, yeah, a couple days ago. I mean, a couple years
Well,
ago.
no, I went for one last week, but then I also went for one like 2 years ago. And the one I went for last week, the people that interviewed me were actually dressed pretty nicely. But the one I went for 2 years ago, like I showed up like in exactly what you just described. Like I was wearing like and nicer than khakis. They were
I
like
was like,
khaki
you showed up
color,
this?
but like pleated.
How did you not get this job?
The people who were fucking interviewing me, dude, were wearing like shorts and like Nike Dunks and like t-shirts with like Rick and Morty characters on them. Like I showed up and I was like, I felt like a goofball. Like I was wearing a tie and shit. And like they everybody that walked up to me, because there was like 3 different people interviewed me, like gave me like the up and down, like, look at this fucking nerd. Like where does he think he's gonna be working? You know what I mean?
I showed up.
But I was like, hey man, this is just how I was trained my whole life to show up to an interview.
I showed up
So
to
then
an
I
interview once
did-
with resume paper, and they were like, "Holy fucking Christ, what is this?" I was like, "That's what the paper's about."
They were like, send this to the lab immediately. So then this past interview that I went to last week, I was like, all right, I'm going to tone it down a little. Like, I'm not going to go so hard. Like, so I went with like khakis, like not pleated dress pants, a button-up dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up, no tie. Right? I was like, okay,
Should've
like,
let me dress
still
you.
belt. I had dress shoes on. I walked in there. The people were dressed like fucking like they were working on Wall Street, dude. Like this dude had like a, and I was like, God damn, I just can't get this shit right. But they called
I
me
got
back.
you.
They called me back today, so I guess I did something right. But
I got you. If you need,
it's hard, man. It's
If
hard.
you need to look good for something,
You don't want to look like a nerd at your job.
I don't look like a nerd
You
ever.
know what I
dude.
mean?
Joe has a guy for everything.
I don't ever look like a nerd, man.
I got to tell you, you look like a lot of things right now, but a nerd is not one of them.
Dude, I go
I
to wrestling events, and they're like, "That guy's not a nerd."
Well, if you show
I
up
would-
like that to a wrestling event, you might
Oh,
be in the
dude,
wrestling
yeah, they'll
event.
just immediately ask you to join. Invictus is waiting for you to call them right
people thought I was a wrestler at the event.
now.
I just had a beer stuffed
People
in
are
my
asking you for
underwear.
autographs. and shit.
But yeah, the
Oh,
whole
so
time,
awesome.
Chris is pointing at me, going,
Yeah, totally, dude. When the event
You
was
can
over, I was like, you
do
need
this.
to do this. Yeah.
he was like, "I'm watching this. You
Yeah.
could do that." And I was like, "Yeah, I know I could. I could.
You could
totally
do that,
be good at
and
it.
you could do that better.
I could be good at it. I know. I've always known that.
I think we should get you up there one week.
Yeah, we really should.
Oh, I
one
would
match.
totally.
One
Just as like a jobber, like you could just be
Dude,
like,
I would go, and I'll take bumps. I don't care. I am down.
yeah, like
I can
go
do
in there
moonsaults. I can do it all.
knowing that they're gonna make you lose, and that like you're going in there just to like show your stuff, and like,
Oh yeah, I'll take it the hard way.
but when you do it, you know you're gonna bring 40 people out. They're gonna be like, we got to make this guy a headline.
Dude, I'll fucking show
He
up.
matched our entire attendance from last week.
Yeah.
We got to bring this.
This
dude up.
guy brought adults. That's nuts. Yeah, no, I would do it in an instant. I would build a ring and do it in my backyard. I don't care.
So I know we discussed this. You said that your character would be a weatherman,
Oh yeah, the thunder.
which I love.
The
dude.
Thundertaker, I think, is the great-
Thundertaker,
is a great-
yeah, or the Thunder Maker, maybe.
Yeah, the Undertaker and Thundertaker are too close, but yeah, you could just be,
Oh, it's so good. My forecast is pain.
Yeah.
Would you just
In tonight's forecast, pain. The only thing I see for you is losing.
Lightning strikes against the rope. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
So good.
Tonight, lightning strikes twice. I could be, yeah.
I feel like it has to have been done before, but I
Well, yeah,
I
but not
can't
on the
think
not
of
on the
it.
big times.
Uh,
None of the big times they've done it. Again, I think the other one I would do is Joe Deere, John Deere's brother, who's obsessed with turf
yeah, I remember
And
you
is-
bringing that one up too.
and
That's
is
good. That's
and is very against lawns.
good. That'd be so awesome, dude. When you come out, you lay down turf all over
Yeah,
the.
it's just a turf carpet I lay out, and I fucking just start dropping people on the turf. And I just keep talking about how fucking strong I am compared to tractors.
When you have to cancel a match, like something happens, like whatever, like you just like, oh, like Joe couldn't attend due to turf toe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that-
I
that
I
could-
forget how we got on wrestling. What were we talking about before this?
That could be my,
so lost.
that could be my finisher, is giving you turf toe.
Turf toe.
Is I like Dan Schneider you and suck your toe.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
It's the opposite of the mandible claw.
No,
I
for
just
real.
grab your toes.
How did we get back on
yank 'em.
wrestling? We were talking about something else. So what were we talking about?
We were babbling on and on.
Yeah, we
about-
opened with something strong.
Yeah, we were yapping on and on about rehab exit
It's-
songs.
it's so
which
funny-
somehow didn't go into theme songs, but we did loop around somehow from rehab songs.
Oh yeah, we were talking. That was it. We were talking about rehab songs. I was like, how did we get into wrestling again? I was like,
Somehow it wasn't theme songs for wrestling that
Yeah,
we ended
yeah,
up on now. Which the Thundertaker would probably have a pretty cool theme song,
oh, I mean, the
like a
other-
Garth Brooks
I would hope that
Thunder
you would,
Rolls cover.
I would hope that you would come out with like a little green screen behind you,
yeah.
like rolling.
Oh, like
with
that,
you.
that dude with the enormous ass. What's his name?
Takashi or whatever.
Yeah.
No. He's
I know who
he's
you're
a
talking
content
about.
creator. He's
Yeah.
he's got the green screen that like wraps around his butt.
Yes.
In my opinion, and I mean this is going to age me, but the 3 greatest wrestling entrance songs ever.
Well, you weren't a wrestling guy.
I was not a
see
wrestling
what we
guy,
got here.
but my entire life since I was 4 years old, all of my friends were wrestling guys. So I was always forced into the world, right?
Yeah.
But so like I've always been aware of what's going on in wrestling, but I was just never like into it. You know what I mean? But to me, like Voodoo Child,
Okay.
you know, Hulk Hogan. Like that riff is so like iconic. You know what I mean? That riff is great. The Undertaker, just the bell tolling, like dong. Like I can imagine, like if it was a real fight, like if I was like a boxer and like that song came on, I'd be like, I'm fucking dead, dude. Like I'm gonna die. Like
When the lights cut out,
Yeah,
you
the lights
almost-
cut out and
You
it's
think he's gonna appear in front of you?
yeah, you come out to some goofy, like happy shit, and then all of a sudden the lights go out and it's like dong. You're like, I'm so dead. Like this guy's gonna fucking murder me. And Stone Cold, man. That glass shattering like was so awesome. Like,
Well, the Glass Shatters is a great.
yeah, it's so great.
It's iconic. I like ones that start with a fast pace because I feel like I'd really run to the ring. You know, although I'm a fat guy, I bring a lot of energy.
I would not consider you a fat guy. I would consider you like, I don't know, what's like a,
Gravity.
you know how like a bison is like
Heavy.
sinewy? I would never want to fight you in a million years.
Gravitationally gifted.
If I was a foot taller than you, I'd be like, nah, dude, I don't want to fight that guy.
I don't know. It wouldn't. I'd have a lot of fun in wrestling. Again, I'd push what I could do, but I would have fun.
Yeah, that's where you belong, man. You should be hosting wrestling events at the Chocolate Factory, bro.
That would
Yeah.
be cool.
Chocoholics.
It's like the right environment for it. When the weather's nice, you
It
open
would
up
be.
that door.
It is like what they put you in like when you're playing the WWE games.
yeah.
It's like where you like start out.
It would be like where the tutorial is.
Yeah, I've always wanted to run stuff on the roof of the factory. Maybe wrestling matches is the thing to do
Dude, that's it. That is it.
because it's a flat roof. It's pretty cool. I could only imagine choke slamming someone off the roof of the
And then
factory.
through the roof of the factory.
Be sweet.
That could also be a wrestling name for you. Like
the chocolate maker.
Willy Wonker.
I will make you shit yourself.
Willy Wonker. Willy Wanker.
Yes, I'm Willy Wanker. I molest people.
These are all
My finisher needs a
golden
blanket.
ideas. We're saying it like people haven't made $1 billion off of doing this. You know what I mean? Like people have.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Listen, what are we, like the 500,000th podcast to hit the internet this year? You know what I mean? And it's only March.
it's all right.
So I mean, we're not exactly
We have almost 30 viewers, so watch out.
we're not exactly trailblazers over
Well,
here.
one day
You know,
when
we
people
might
are
as well
looking
just-
back at these ideas, they're gonna go. You tell you what, those guys, they started out pretty funny.
Don't worry, I got an idea for the next podcast. It's going to revolutionize podcasting.
Oh, okay, nice. I can't wait. It's gonna be pornographic, isn't it? I know it.
Here's a clip. It's going to
Oh
be
wait,
called-
you have a story to tell.
I have so many stories to tell.
Well,
dude.
yeah, but you have a story to tell about nipple biting that you wanted last podcast. You
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
berated me. For
Well,
that.
I feel like we're talking about like
Well, you wanted to bite nipples.
fun,
so
hokey,
what's up?
kid-friendly stuff,
I got
and
nipples.
now
Can
you want to
you help
talk
me,
about BDSM.
I got
We can
nipples.
hop
Can you
right
milk
into
me,
that.
Greg?
I could. You fucking know I could.
I've been drinking my raspberry tea.
Does that make
It's
you
good for
lactate?
lactation.
I didn't know that. No, I dated this girl, and we were in bed, and she was like, "Bite my nipple," and I was like, "Yeah, hot." And so like I bit her nipple, and then she was like, "Harder," and I
No,
was
I
like,
wouldn't like that.
"Okay." So like I bit it again,
I
and
will
like
be an animal. Also,
like-
that's not good.
Just chew
I
on
like
it.
I like borderline
chewing.
rough stuff, but
I
like
will.
not I'm not like crazy. I'm not fucking people
I
throwing
get told.
hooks in the
I
tent.
get told harder.
Like,
I take it a step too far. I am the guy who goes too far.
Did you bite off her nipple?
dude,
Yeah,
I
I
swear
would.
to God, like it got to a point where my mouth was filled with blood.
Yeah, I would be.
And she was like harder, and I'm like, no. Like I was like, I'm not gonna bite your fucking nipple off.
I would
like,
be
I was like,
testing-
you're like fucking 25 years old. I'm like, I'm not gonna like scar you for life. Like
I would.
I'm sorry. Like
If you're asking for it and you're saying that
and
I'm
she
a
like thought
bitch,
I was lame, dude. Like my
if you think
fucking
I'm weak, I'm gonna
loser.
hurt.
my sheets were stained with blood. I had like blood in my mouth. I was like, I think I bit you hard enough. Like if you can't come from that, then you should just give up on sex. Like that is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I would have torn her nipple off.
Yeah, man, it was wild.
Dude, when I was younger,
I continued to have sex with her for a couple of times after that.
I like that.
redemption story.
And,
This
and
makes me feel nice.
she asked me for some stuff. Like there was some slapping, choking, hair pulling. But to me, that's all
Does
just
she have a phone number you can leave for the audience? That might get us some listeners.
that's par for the course. But
We're all taken
You know,
now, but this woman,
dude, have you ever seen a scabbed up nipple from your
No.
own bite?
Winslow's available.
Yeah, I felt like a predator, dude. Like I felt like fucking cops were gonna show up to my doorstep, like, you attacked this woman. I was like, I swear to God, she told me to do it. I swear, I didn't want to do it.
why
I
it
was
was
just like,
filmed.
I was trying to get her off. I thought that's what did it for her. Like,
That's why
It
it was
was
filmed.
crazy.
Follow me on Snapchat.
but yeah, that's
Joe
really
Tats
the
one.
only that's really the
Ow.
only like wild experience I've had like that. Like I've had girls that like rough stuff, but nothing like crazy. Like that was the craziest shit. Like really, like if I had gone any harder, I was gonna bite straight through her nipple. Like
That
it
is
was
awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I once ran into somebody who had their nipples tattooed like spirals, like the hypnotic ones. Fucking
Hypnotizing.
really cool.
You just told the truth for the next 40 minutes.
Fucking really.
I did not have sex with that
Now she
woman.
got guys to tell me about your other girlfriend.
I Bill Clinton that one. I did not have sex with that woman, but
Man, I wanted to.
her nipples were nice.
Explain. I'm sorry. Explain to me. They were not swirly. She did not have
Yes.
swirly
The
carnival.
white and the
nipples.
black, like the illusion logo.
Wait, do you think when black people and white people have kids together that they have swirly nipples?
This was a white woman. She is white.
So why were they white and black? Were they
They were
tattooed?
tattooed.
Oh,
I said they were tattooed.
that is fucking weird. Can you look up a
Tattooed nip.
Yeah,
it's
swirl
like it's hard to
tattooed
get
nipple?
people to do.
I can't.
'Cause
pull
it's
that
hard
up.
to get.
There's got to be at least 2,
But
3,
like this,
4
yeah.
idiots in the
Well,
world.
not even like that. It's back out. It was. I saw it to the left there, like that.
This one.
It was more bigger. It was wider because that would have been really intricate. On
Dude, it's so funny. Like
it was wider, but it was like the top left corner, just wider circles.
the
Yeah.
noises that come to mind when I look at those swirlies. Like I hear like a woo,
Like just wider versions of this for the
that's so
thing.
funny.
It was cool. Like the outside there, it was kind of like that.
Like a very like a Jack White like
it was fucking magnificent.
like a
I mean,
a Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. I heard that fart, by the way, Jack.
It was the chair.
if this gets anywhere, I can phone a friend who was also present and saw this.
No, I believe you. Even though
well,
some
I'm
of your
saying-
stories
I'm
are
saying-
unbelievable.
I'm saying he
Jack,
actually,
I wish you were on here telling stories, dude.
He's
Like,
remarked
I feel
on
like
it
you've got
before, too.
crazy stories.
he's remarked on it before too, so I know he remembers it because it's
I don't think you could ever forget.
it was a life-changing day.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Anyway, you were telling a different story actually. I like that one as well.
Wait,
but-
I
It has there's lasagna involved and there's
Oh man, okay. You want me to tell this story? All right.
well, yeah, that was a fucking incredible story.
So I was friends with two guys who were brothers in
You
college.
don't need names, yeah.
Yeah, I was friends with two guys who were brothers in
Do
college.
fake names. Do fake names.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even need.
I don't
fake
even
names.
need
You
that.
You told
No,
us.
for the point of the
Okay,
story.
I'll use their street names. I was friends with two guys in college who lived in a house right off campus. Pity C and Mickey K. Right. And
I didn't know you grew up in The Departed.
and I hung out at their house all the time. We would just like smoke weed and play video games and
bet.
bullshit, right? And the guy who owned the house was this dude. I'll just call him Jay, and he we were friends for like a year or two, and we would always hang out, whatever, just do stoner dumb guy shit in the living room. Sorry, I'm handing a gigantic bottle of Svedka to my girlfriend, and I'm worried about it. And Jose was always like a really even-tempered, sure, he sold like drugs and stuff.
He went
and,
back
like,
to
he
his
was,
real
like,
name.
Yeah,
Did I say it?
We're
Fuck,
back
I
in the
said
day,
it.
Jose. It's okay.
So Jay, can you edit that out? Can you scrub that? Jay was always
Nobody
like
knows
a
what that
very
is.
even-tempered, like cool, funny dude. He was a nasty Ryu in Street Fighter. let me
No one
tell you.
knows that's my name. It's fine.
And then all of a sudden he started dating this girl, right? And I guess I can use her street name. Her street name was Bleeker. And he started dating this girl again. Apparently he had dated this girl in the past, like earlier in his college career, right? And I didn't know this chick. I'd never met her before, but she was like a tough chick. She was like this, like you met her and like within a couple minutes of meeting her, you'd be like, yo, this chick could probably kick my ass. Like she talked tough. She was kind of like big. Like she had like broad shoulders. She was like 5'10". Like she had like big ass calves. Like she looked like she did squats.
So you
know
knew
what
one
I
of the original transgenders.
she also like sold drugs and it was like she was like just like us. They were just like scarier
You
than
don't
us.
sound pretty awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, like we went to a party at their house and we all got drunk and we fell asleep in the living room and we heard them just like viciously banging one night and then from then on they were dating. And then a night following that, like a week or two later, we were hanging out in the living room again, smoking weed, playing video games. Street Fighter 4 had just come out. We were like, yeah, like Street Fighter, sick. Like, and she's in the kitchen baking a lasagna for us all to eat. Nobody asked her to make lasagna. She like showed up before anybody got
this
there
time of
and
night?
started baking this lasagna. Very nice of her to do. I was excited to eat the lasagna.
I'm excited
right?
about lasagna right now.
Yeah, like you get an Italian woman from New Jersey baking you a lasagna, you shut up and you let it happen. Right?
Yeah, I'm down.
Especially when she's not your girlfriend. So, wherever we're in there fighting each other in Street Fighter, and she keeps screaming questions into the living room from the kitchen, like, "Yo, Jay, are you gonna eat this in there? Or are you gonna eat it in the kitchen?" And he's like, "I don't care, in here." And she's like, "Okay." And then like two minutes later, she's like, "Do you want to eat this in bowls or do you want to eat it on a plate?" And he's like, "I don't care. I don't know, a bowl." And she's like, "Okay. Do you?" And then she like a minute later, like, "Do you want Parmesan on it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want Parmesan." And then, 2 minutes later, she's like, are you going to come in here and get it, or do you want me to bring it out to you? And he's like, I don't care, just whatever, blah, blah, blah. She comes walking into the living room with the entire pan of the lasagna, and she dumps it on Jay while he's sitting there on the couch.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Fighting, I think, my friend Pity C. Right? This is like burning hot lasagna, dumps it on him. He immediately gets up out of the chair, chases her into the bedroom, and all we hear is just like a clatter, right? We just hear like, and we're all sitting there, like the three of us are sitting there, like in the living room, like, what do we do? Like, I don't know what to do. Do we call the police right now? Like, are they killing each other? Like, I don't know. We hear screaming. We hear things being thrown. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, this is crazy. So, like, we're like, literally like dialing 911, and then like my two friends who live in this house are like, no, wait, hold on, there's a bunch of drugs here. If we call 911, they're gonna raid the house, we're all gonna be fucked, I'm not gonna have a place to live. And I'm just like, yeah, but this woman might die. And like they're like, she can hold her own, you've seen her. It was like insane, and we're like literally debating. So we're like about to call the cops. We've decided we're gonna call the police before there's blood on our hands, right? And then also we noticed that a lot of the screaming and shit is fucking, right? Like they are now just brutally fucking each other. We hear like, get it, daddy, get it. And we hear like rhythmic, just like fucking. So now we're just sitting there laughing because we're imagining Jose probably with 2nd-degree burns and pasta sauce all over him, just like fucking this girl. And we were just like, and I remember like Pity C and Mickey were just like, we got to get the fuck out of this house. And meanwhile, like the pasta's still like on the couch steaming. Like, so funny, man. So fucking funny.
It's incredible.
You should have walked in there and been like, you need some Parmesan.
What would you have done? Would you have just called the cops like immediately? Like, I really thought they were going to kill each other. Like, I didn't know what the fuck.
There's a 0% chance.
I felt we were like, Mommy and Daddy are fighting. What do we do? We're like, they're just like the landlord of like, some stoner college kids. Like,
never call the police in that situation unless I thought someone's life was literally in danger.
No, I mean, like he got up like he was gonna cut her. Like he was so mad.
Well, if I think someone's physically in danger in that way, I know the police take enough time to kill someone to get there.
Yeah.
So I would just enter the room and stop the violence myself.
Yeah. I should mention this was at a time when drugs were illegal because I am, as you know, very, very old.
Well, drugs are barely legal now. It depends on the state at this point.
It's true.
By the way, the Rehab exit song, I think the song "Hurt" by Johnny Cash might be a fun one.
That's a good one. Yeah. If only there was a line in there like, I hurt myself today and probably will again pretty soon. That would be the perfect Rehab exit song.
I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
I will make you hurt is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of songs that are just like tongue in cheek, like, yeah, I'll stop doing this thing that I like so much. You
just
know
the John Mulaney album.
John Mulaney fucking rules, man.
John Mulaney's the best.
You guys ever watch the show Crashing?
I've seen an episode or two.
It's great because every episode is just like basically like a different a showcase of a different comedian.
Yeah. I was gonna say because that was the Louis one, right?
I don't remember. I didn't get to the Louis one yet. I'm like halfway through season 2, and Mulaney's got a great cameo in it. He's literally in it for 10 minutes, but he's so funny.
It's not. Then it's not Louis. Louis, I think one of the disgraced comedians.
I mean, Louis probably in it. I think there's like 4 seasons.
It's like a regular part in it. That's like
yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of. I know what I'm thinking of. Artie Lang.
Oh yeah, Artie shows up all throughout Crashing.
Yeah,
and he's great. He's so funny.
That's
I always loved Artie. He's one of the greatest tragedies in comedy.
I love Artie Lang too. No, that's what I'm thinking of. It's Artie Lang.
I love you, Artie. Don't hate me, but you got to clean yourself up, man.
I've heard he's doing all right. He's in like Hoboken. We might be able to get him on that.
He was always in Hoboken, but I don't know if he still is, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can afford Hoboken.
I don't think he flies anymore. So I think he's always in Hoboken.
Yeah, I think he's like all the time in Hoboken.
Can I get a tissue, man? I'm like snotting it up right now. This is gross.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do. This is an unexpected turn of events. I haven't had any congestion with my recent illness, and now
you're not ill. Everything's fine.
Thanks.
if anyone could have a podcast, or if you could have a podcast with anyone, who would it be with? Like ever?
It would only be you, Joe. It would only be you. Thank you
See,
so much, Jack.
Like, so a lot of people I think would say George Carlin.
That would
George Carlin would have.
Yeah, I think
honest,
that's like
awesome
an obvious
podcast,
one that I didn't think of.
But I feel like he'd have like a 40-hour long podcast every week of just him.
You know what? Like, I've heard a lot of people talk shit about George Carlin. Like,
it's not shit. It's just
no. I think they're just trying to be contrarian because everybody sucks his dick so much. You know what I mean? But
he's
like,
awesome.
The other day, I was at home and I was like, man, I gotta fucking do some chores. Like, I gotta fucking just whatever. Just I gotta put my laundry away. I gotta clean my shit up. And like, I was like, I'm gonna put on a Carlin special, just because like I don't think I've ever just watched a Carlin.
He had
special
so many. Is the thing, yeah.
But like, it was genuinely fucking hilarious. Like,
great.
it was really good. Like, it was way funnier than I was expecting it to be.
It's still relevant.
Yeah,
because he talks
so
about the future the whole time. Yeah,
and he talks about just like, you know, like the. I listen. I forget what the name of the special was. If I heard it, I would know. But he talks about like just like how like the billionaire class thinks, and he's like, yeah, they're in a club and you're not in it, and you're never gonna be in it, and like and it's like, yes, that's how the country really works. You know what I mean? Like, all these people try to pretend like they're your friend, like they're not your fucking friend. Like,
yeah, these are his HBO specials. It could have been.
They are absolutely your enemy. Like, and the only power that we have is like our vote and our numbers, and like we need to use them. Like, yeah. And like, I feel like people just don't like respect that opinion
that
anymore.
Could be.
And it's like absolutely the right opinion.
Is it you are all diseased? Because he talks about that and that. I know that.
But genuinely funny, like genuinely.
No,
it's one of his later stand-ups.
Well,
he's got like a city background.
And one of the people that a lot of people say in this argument is Mitch Hedberg, which I think would be interesting, but.
He was a great
he was such a good craftsman of jokes. Yeah.
He was a completely different comedian than Carlin. Yeah,
like imagine him with like Theo Vaughn.
That's actually like a perfect pairing. They would have been a really
like imagine him and Theo
just
like he goes and tells his joke and Theo just fucking goes off.
Theo actually is. I hate that we're talking about comedians right now because I don't know like. But I love comedians. Don't get me wrong. Like, I eat the shit up. But
when I think of who I want to be on a podcast, really, it's comedians. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
like
Chris
every time I hear that they're interviewing an athlete, like I skip the episode. Like I don't.
Chris Farley would be funny, but like
Chris Farley would be so funny.
I guess, but like he was so physical humor. I don't really watch.
Nah, he was everything, man. Like
he was hilarious.
He was great.
But that's like saying I want Adam Sandler now. I don't know. I think I get enough of Adam
Sandler. What's it called? Theo. I feel like Theo, his best environment is when like people are like being contentious with him, like when people are like trying to make fun of him or something.
Yeah, and then
you get like the funniest Theo. Because what's his name? The dude who had all like the sexual allegations against him. Chris
D'Elia?
Yeah, Chris D'Elia. Whenever him and Chris D'Elia were on a podcast together, D'Elia would always try to like make fun of him, and Theo would just like out funny him so bad. Like he would make fun of him so bad.
You know who's doing that a lot
and
right now?
It was like a Theo you've never seen before. He was just like, okay, man. If you're gonna make fun of me, I'm just gonna make fun of you back. And he was so much funnier.
Who does that a lot now, and he's getting a lot of recognition for that is Ralph Barbosa.
Who's that?
Ralph Barbosa.
I don't know him.
He has Cowabunga on Netflix. He's little Spanish guy. He's very like calm and like he's really good. He's just like really witty. He's very smart. But
I do know that guy. Yeah, I do know that guy. I just didn't know his name. Yeah, he's funny as fuck.
He's really funny, but he like
man, look at that hairline, dude.
They always talk about him on
it looks like a fucking like a wig. It's so straight. I'm just jealous because my hairline looks like a horseshoe.
They always talk about him on like I see videos where like, oh, Bert here tries to shut him down, and then he like is just quick-witted enough to like back it up.
I think with Theo's like at heart, like Theo's such a sweet guy. You know, like he's such a nice dude.
But imagine
he's got that dog in him. You know what I mean?
Imagine
it's like, oh, okay, like we're playing this game. Like, well, let me hit this switch. Like, and he's got it in him. You know what I mean? Like he can just totally like make fun of you like with no problem. Like as long as he feels justified, like.
Well, to me, like, so a lot of people I feel like would say like, okay, Theo and like Norm Macdonald. But that show is just going to be
Norm
about
Macdonald was
nothing.
so weird. He was totally different.
That's
Like,
going to be
he was like,
that's going to be about nothing. Though.
well, I mean, Theo's really weird too, but like in a different way.
But it'd be very funny. But like eventually, they just keep.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like Mitch Hedberg would kind of keep it going with like tell a joke. Like, you see this out there, kind of. Mitch Hedberg and Mark Norman, kind of to me.
No, I can see that they're like of the same element.
Well,
yeah,
because
like
it's
the same stuff.
Set
yeah.
up punchlines. It's very
Which I'm
different
not like
punchlines.
discrediting. Like that's
No,
like a whole
very different
part.
punchlines.
Yeah,
But Mark Norman,
in a lot
to
of
me,
ways,
is
more impressive.
Is a more pun joke kind of.
You know who
guy
else is
these
in
days.
that category is Harlan.
Oh
Williams.
yeah, absolutely.
That guy's great. That guy's voice alone is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I would listen to that guy just like read the phone book. Like you know what I mean? He's just like got a funny voice. Like
Oh yeah, there's another one. If you had like John Lovitz talking to
John Lovitz. John Lovitz was brilliant. Yeah, he was.
yeah,
really
he was
funny.
really smart. But like if you had him talking to like say Steve Martin back in the day.
Yeah, Steve Martin was really funny. Like there's a lot of these guys like that. I feel like a lot of
Robin
people are just
Williams.
like, oh,
Robin Williams
like,
would have been a hell of a podcast.
it was a different time. They weren't that funny. But then you go back and you listen to their shit, and it was like, no, that shit was funny. Like it was legitimately funny.
Yeah, Robin Williams would have been a hell of a podcaster. I saw Ralphie May come up earlier. Ralphie May would have been a fucking hilarious podcaster.
Yeah.
He was.
As
Well,
long
yeah,
as you're not
but-
going
but-
back
but
too
like-
far.
like
if you go back to
famous.
like, you know, if you're going back to like the 50s or 60s or something, it might be like then the comedy gets a little like it's a little hard to digest. For some, I don't know what happened in the 80s, but like in the 80s, comedy got real corny, like with a few exceptions of like, you know, Pryor and Carlin and stuff.
Yeah.
But like there was something that happened there, like it got like really, really cheesy. But like in the 70s, like comedy was really like
Well, it's funny because
was
like
really
Tom
like
Papa,
X-rated. It was really like
Tom Papa
adults.
goes
Yeah.
back that far,
Yeah.
and he has a special. Can you look up the
Tom
first
Papa really goes back to
special?
the 70s?
I believe
No
so.
way.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
I
No
believe
way.
so.
The 70s.
Yeah, Tom Papa first special. Look it
Like
up.
if you were doing comedy in the 70s, you are ancient now.
He is ancient.
I got to see what he looks like. Like I know Tom Papa,
dude,
but
he's
I don't
in
think
like
I know what he looks like.
He's in like an old 70s
like
fucking
I've heard him on a
suit.
million podcasts, but
Oh, he began in 1993. no, he's
no, but I mean like the 90s were
so
like
so he's got like an old style special.
comeback for comedy because
What's his first special then?
There was only like
Dude,
there
you
was
gotta
like
see
3
this
good
fucking
comedians in the 80s.
I thought it was from this. I could swear. No, go up to first. Oh, this is specials. 2005. No, it's none of these. It was like a. It looked like almost like a game show he was on, and it was crazy. He was. He's in
I
like
can
a-
hear his voice in my head.
He's looking like a checkered suit. It's like all orange and yellow.
He looks like the baseball
announcer.
commentator.
Yeah.
Fucking, what's his name from the AMC show?
No, man. Where is it? I don't see it here at all. Fuck.
No, we got a lull. We got a
Yeah.
lull in the conversation.
No, it's
here.
okay. We kind of named some guys. I don't know if you have any other heavy hitters,
Yeah.
but
I love the.
I feel like there's some rock stars that could have had some cool ones before they lost their mind.
yeah.
You know,
This is gonna be a weird one, but I was listening to a hip hop podcast the other day.
Those
and
are
they were
big.
talking about how every person in music that's ever met the Notorious B.I.G. said like, first and foremost, you have to know that Biggie was the funniest person in the world. Like Biggie was funny as fuck.
I've heard.
And like everybody says that. Like anybody that you meet that met Biggie back in the day was just like, dude, he was so funny. Like he would just come up to you and say some shit that would crack you up like every time. And it's funny because like we see him as such like a serious character, you know what I mean? Like that I would love to know like he was really like a goofball. Like he was really like cracking people up. Like I feel like it would be great to hear him on a podcast.
A lot of rap is you know cracking wise.
That's true. Yeah, it's just being like clever, witty, like
It's
jokes,
like
essentially, you know?
poetically
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, like
Those are the best rappers. To me,
Well,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
rappers are like, yeah, like
that's why I like some rap.
we're waiting.
Well,
I like some rappers.
Well, I don't really listen to rap, but like I do like when that what's the Mason? What's his name? Do that the show now? Oh man,
Cameron.
Cameron. That's it. Mason Cameron, and That Cameron's fucking hilarious, dude. He's
Cameron
really
is
funny.
To me,
To me, he's just way funnier. Fucking what's the comedian who got hit by the Walmart truck? Tracy
Morgan. Yeah,
Tracy Morgan. I hate Tracy Morgan, but
You hate Tracy.
well, I
Morgan?
don't hate, but I just don't find him funny.
I fucking love Tracy Morgan.
I feel like he's like,
ladies, Mama Sadie's.
Yeah,
He's
I feel he's just
showing everybody his like belly, like
he's
like,
the worst. I
like
don't know.
daytime talk shows.
I don't think he's funny. I don't get it.
I love Tracy Morgan. He was insane.
Yeah, there's something I don't get. It's not that I hate him, but I just like, I've seen some funny stuff he does, but everyone does funny stuff. But like he's like a special ed Mike Epps.
There's a famous story that Jay Moore used to tell, but apparently it's not his story, and there's like all this like these arguments about like whose story it really is. But he
Is
tells
this the Tracy Morgan crap thing?
Yeah, he tells the story about.
Bert says that story too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people like I don't know who official. I know somebody like they have confirmed like who the original story comes from, but the story is that like he went out. They smoked weed, but it was actually PCP.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
Bert.
like there they are at 4:00 in the morning, like punching windows on like 7th Avenue.
Yeah, that's Bert. Bert says
something.
that, and
Yeah.
he says that Bert says that Tracy Morgan hates him, and he hasn't seen him since.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen Bert tell that story on like 3 different podcasts.
Oh well, what Jay Moore tells the story.
Well, it looks like Jay Moore
exquisitely.
might have been there that night too, based on what he just looked up.
And also Jay Moore does a perfect Tracy Morgan impression. Like he sounds exactly like him, and he keeps saying like, "Yo, Jay Moore, you my uncle. Jay Moore, you my uncle, man." And he's like, what? He's like, "You ever seen that Richard Pryor? You ever seen that Richard Pryor with the gold shoes on?"
You're nailing it right now.
You gotta listen
You
to the
can
story.
dog claim because you're
It's
doing it right
amazing.
now.
I don't want to like, I don't want to like redo his whole story, but like just look up Jay Moore, Tracy Morgan, watch that shit. It's so fucking funny. I don't care if it's real or fake or whatever. It's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. Tracy Morgan smoking PCP, like buying the whole bar champagne and then putting it on some random dude's tab at the bar, and then like getting kicked out, and then punching windows out on 7th Avenue, and then just like packing it up and going home for the night, like. And just leaving Jay Moore like standing there in the middle of the street at like 23 years old in this city. It's just like it's so funny.
So, what do you think the best video game ever is?
Oh, we had this
We did
conversation.
this.
I said
Oh, we already
I
did.
said
Yeah,
Metal
we
Gear
did this.
Solid.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forget.
But I mean, I don't know. I played a lot of video games in my life. I don't know which one I would pick. I would need a genre. You'd have to give me like a genre,
I think we had this conversation last time.
Okay.
We did.
But
I don't.
or not,
we
like
shouldn't
three-
rehash. But
I say it's Grand Theft Auto, no matter what. But
I think it's either Slugfest or it's NFL Street.
I don't know. I don't know Slugfest.
Slugfest was the
Slugfest
best
was-
game.
yeah,
of all time.
Slugfest was,
it's baseball, but you could
yeah.
beat the shit out of someone.
That reminds me of Road Rash.
They made a hockey one too. Road Rash was good,
Yeah.
but they made a hockey one too. What the hell was Slugfest for hockey? It wasn't Slapshot, I don't think. It was.
You could just decide to not play baseball
and
fight
just
each other.
beat the shit out of
yeah,
someone. It was
go-
the best game
Well,
of all
because
time.
like if you got it was like a close call at first base. You just like attack the umpire.
But
you
Give
can
you, like,
punch
an
the
option to
players.
fight?
You could punch the players. Like when you slide into a base, you could just kick them in the head. Like
yeah,
you
it
could
was like
start a
It was like
brawl.
Blitz,
And there was
but
just
for
like
baseball.
hot chicks.
yeah,
like
and
the-
there was hot
the
chicks.
load
It's
screens.
fucking load screens.
Yeah, it
was
was like
the best.
Blitz for baseball. Yeah, it
Man,
was.
the early 2000s were so different than right now.
Yeah.
When did that whole cultural shift happen? Like
Well,
has anybody ever pinpointed the
Generation
year?
came up.
Like
I fucking love this game. And I also, if anyone played me in it, like I would beat them in the fucking first inning.
why is that guy still chasing that ball down?
I don't know what the fuck.
They're to Mars.
like does the pitcher even have a ball in his hand? I don't think he had a ball in his hand. That was the wildest video
that's
game
it.
clip I've ever seen.
That shortstop threw a ball into the stands.
Yeah, but there was no ball, and then it just appeared halfway through the pit. Like it was so weird. This game was impossible to play.
No, it
no,
was,
no,
it was
like
pretty
Blitz.
easy.
It's pretty simple, really.
I just want to see them like fucking fight though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just type in like Slugfest video game fight.
Yeah, just put Vlad Guerrero in it because I used to use him to fuck people up.
Is that what's his name on the Giants?
His name's Vlad Guerrero.
I don't know. I was thinking of home run king, juice captain of the MLB.
Sammy Sosa,
No, he didn't play for the Giants. He
Mark
played for the
McGwire.
Damn,
Cubs.
dude.
Barry Bonds.
The
Barry
whole point
Bonds.
of the
There
game
you
is
go.
to fight someone, and they're not doing it.
I haven't thought about this game in a long
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that game in forever. PS2 had the best games, I gotta say. I'm an Xbox man, but
I had
PS2,
this for Xbox.
PS2 had the shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't know when I became an Xbox guy, but it happened. It happened right around at the 360 mark.
There's Flagware.
I think it was Halo 2 won me over. Everybody else was playing Halo 2.
I'm ready
I was
to
like,
fight.
and Xbox had been around for like a while.
Oh, there's
at that
cheat
point, and I
codes
was like,
too, so like you could change your whole team into like
he's
rodeo clowns.
he's on fire. He's pissed. Who's this clown? Who's this guy? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Why they got like a midget clown? Like what is happening?
There's cheats. There's cheats like
Oh.
before the game, like
You
while
could
I was
game
loading.
Shark, you could game shark and stuff. It was nuts, but
Wait, there was Game Shark in PS2?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No way. I thought Game Shark was like an
Well, that was
ancient.
an N64 thing too, yeah. But you could get a Game Shark for PS2. It was just,
So you could just like kick
Yeah.
them.
yeah, like see, he's on the base. You just
Dude, it was so good. The soundtrack was great.
Oh man, I'm
Hot-
definitely gonna
hot
go home
chicks
and
when
look
it
up.
loaded up.
I'm gonna look up some clips from this on YouTube. What are we at with the time count right now?
So what do you think about the bridge collapse?
It's a conspiracy, man. It's a
Yeah.
conspiracy. Yeah, Biden did it.
He wouldn't know how to
I
do
don't
it.
know. It was like this country's falling apart, dude. You know, we're hiring like fucking 23-year-olds at $30,000 a year to do like a job that they probably should be getting paid $150,000 a year to do. We should be hiring like a 40-year-old that's like serious. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea what the fuck happened. It is crazy to me though that the boat hit one pillar of like a 4-pillar bridge and the entire bridge came down.
My dad.
I don't understand the physics of that at all.
My
but,
dad
like,
said about 8 hours before that because he was talking to me about the Korean, like building collapse and the bridge collapse they had there years ago.
how many
he was
people had to have died,
He
right?
was
like who died? in
There's
that
like
bridge
6
collapse,
people
man?
missing.
Oh, like
yeah,
I think like 20 people.
That was crazy, man. It's so scary. Imagine being on that fucking bridge.
But so my dad said like 8 hours before that happened. He's like, bridges don't collapse here.
Bridges have
Bam.
collapsed. There was that one in Michigan. Did you ever see that crazy footage of the bridge like doing like a wave in Michigan? Like, it's
No,
wild.
but that is how they break usually. Yeah.
It's the same one. That's the reason why the Pulaski was closed for a while, because it was made by the same dude as the one that collapsed in Michigan. So they had to like reinforce it so it didn't do the same shit that happened in Michigan. So it was annoying because all of my early 20s, I was trying to hang out in Hoboken. You know what I mean? And like my girlfriend at the time lived in Hoboken, and I had to fucking add 30 minutes onto my drive every time I went there because the Pulaski was closed. So annoying.
All right. Well, bridge collapse is done.
Because some fucking jamoke. Is jamoke a racial slur?
I got
don't
a
know.
question
I
for
don't
you,
know
though.
anymore. Can we look up jamoke?
This is more a question for if I'm. I don't think you're supposed to use that word anymore.
Really? Is that real? I really
It repeats it 19
Yeah.
times.
See how it says jamoke racist? It's.
ordinary, unimpressive, or inept person. That's exactly what I meant it as. Perfect. No race attached to it at all.
Well, guess what? When you type it in, it says, "Is it racist?"
Yeah, because a lot of people are asking the same question as me.
If you're asking if it's racist, it probably is.
It's not though. Look, I mean, according to Google, like they say it's
According
not.
to the Merriam-Webber dictionary.
Normal, unimpressive, inept person.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is more a question just for my validation.
Yeah.
Do you ever pretend
away.
to be a method actor doing something so you can get through a job?
It's a pretty good question.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm just studying for a role here, digging this hole.
Now I know you know this already, but maybe the audience doesn't. But I'm somewhat of a method actor myself. But no, I don't think I've ever used that. It's
You
kind
are
of like
one hell of a method actor. I've witnessed you method acting.
have you ever like faked it till you made it? Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
totally. Like that's what a job interview is when you're in like your early 20s and you don't really know what the fuck you're doing. you're trying to act like you've been doing this and you've been here, but you haven't. You know what I mean? Like you're fresh out of college, you haven't really done it. So I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of what that is.
What, you've been faking stuff?
Yeah. Well, I did fake
No.
stuff. Yeah. Now I'm the real deal. Man.
Orgasms every time, real.
Yeah, me too. I always got to spit on their back.
But
what
no,
about you? Give us an experience, a time when you had to fake it.
No, I'm more
fucking
in my mind.
fake.
I'll be like, I'm method acting right now.
Fucking.
If I'm like at the gym and I don't want to be there, I'll be like, I'm studying for a role. This is gonna pay off later on in a role.
Do you do that to me and Scott?
No, not at the gym with you guys.
I don't really paint me a picture. Like draw,
I'm on a
like,
treadmill running,
Okay.
and I'm like, I'm gonna be the next Forrest Gump.
Hot. What are you wearing?
I'm Forrest Gump 2. All of a sudden, I'm like, well, and I just kept running.
Have you seen the the Indian version of Forrest Gump?
Please continue.
There's a Bollywood version of Forrest Gump. Shut up.
I watch Hindi The Office sometimes.
Dude, I'm sorry.
on
Can we go
Hulu.
back to you being the star of Forrest Gump 2?
In that
I
outfit?
love this idea so much. It's just like, well, I mean, is he developmentally disabled? You're like, nah. It's like, well, why? Just like, why's it got to be about that? It's just about me following my dreams.
I was on United 93, and then I worked my way through. I end up at the.
I love like, they're like, what did it say? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you go back? Can you go back just a second? I got to read the opening line because you know how he's like, we just floating on a breeze. They're just like, you just getting blown around. Their interpretation of the is so much less poetic. It's so funny. We just blown around in the wind.
It sounds better when you say it. From here to there. Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
I need that shirt.
I can't remember. Is India the number 1 or the number 2 producer of movies in the world? I know it's between me and me. It's between us and India.
It's just you. I don't know. I assume the French
They might
are
be
there.
number 1. I can't remember. I think we're still number 1. I don't know, but it's crazy. Like they fucking love movies over there, man. They pump movies out like crazy.
It's probably them. I don't know.
I would honestly think it was like Japan. I know Japan makes a ton of movies,
But
a lot
Japan
of
has
cartoons.
66 people.
That's true. Japan's like so much smaller than
Yeah.
both us and way smaller than India.
Yeah. So like Japan, that's like saying that fucking Hawaii beat us.
Yeah, but I just mean like Japan has such a love for that kind of.
It's just
culture,
Godzilla.
too.
Like, all right. They fucking love
have
Godzilla.
Lieutenant Dan, bro. They have Lieutenant Dan.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Like you have to try to think like, all right, how does this fit into the original Forrest Gump? Like
Well,
what scene is this?
You just don't know Indian history is the problem.
Why was he like a Sikh at the beginning and he had like the head wrap, but like in
Well,
this
that's he
part he's
gets
like a
older.
buzz cut.
Well,
Honestly, I don't know how like the Sikh religion works.
That's
Like
Jason
maybe
Momoa.
the hair. Yeah, dude, that scene he did look like Jason Momoa.
yeah, look, see this
Like, do you put the head wrap on like when you get to a certain age, or is it like after you kill a man? Is it like when you like first like bed a woman? Like when do you? I don't know.
it's after the war you do it. But yeah, if I'm ever in Forrest Gump 2, I'm ready for it. I've been training.
This is so awesome. I want to watch this. Like, it looks good. Like, it doesn't even look like a bad quality movie. Like,
I love it.
whatever that says.
I hope it's life's like a box of dairy.
sick. Bollywood, fucking Forrest Gump. I need to watch that.
I watch The Indian Office sometimes. It's just The Office in Hindi. It's on Hulu. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
I still haven't made it through all of the American Office, so
Yeah, Hindi The Office. It's pretty fucking sweat.
what are we at time wise? Because man, I gotta take a pee that could collapse the very foundations of this house.
Oh, you're gonna do a bridge collapse?
We're at an hour.
Yeah, I could collapse that stupid bridge.
I mean,
Well, we got 4 minutes. It's all good.
Yeah,
Look,
he
bring
waited
that.
to start it anyway, man. We can talk about the next topic if you'd like.
You got another topic, dude?
I always have another topic. Sure.
You are just a well. You're a well of conversation.
So
what is it? I can't read with these ridiculous glasses on.
How did your friend Mike start his open mic? And why does he not spell it?
You mean open mic with open mic?
Yeah.
How did he start it? He just got a job working at this bar, the Brightside Tavern, on Brightside Avenue in Jersey City, New Jersey, or it might be Bright Street or something. I don't know. Whatever.
How many times do people go there and sing Mr. Brightside?
Oh no, I've heard it on karaoke. I've heard people do karaoke,
Well,
but nobody
everyone
like
does that karaoke.
nobody like showed up with like a guitar and played it.
Oh. So I'm gonna go sing my own version of it next time.
Yeah, and you should probably change the lyrics because that would be more entertaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna
write your own lyrics to.
I'm gonna
Mr.
sing
Brightside.
about the Brightside Tavern. I'm just gonna be like, "Fucking Mike."
That's a pro tip. If you ever have
Mr. Brightside.
This is like.
Do you know that they're like a Christian rock band, The Killers?
Really?
Yeah, if you actually listen
so
to
is
They
their
came
lyrics,
up in Vegas. How could you worship Jesus in Vegas?
if you listen to their lyrics, it's
So
all
is
about
Creed,
the Bible. Well, yeah, but Creed is
he
obvious.
doesn't look a thing like Jesus, but he talks like a gentleman. Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, he saw the Killers live.
I did see the Killers live.
You killed the Killers.
No, he did not do that.
I
That's alleged.
I made "Sweet Sweet Love" for the very first time in my life to the first Killers record. I don't know if that's cool or not, but I'm pretty sure it isn't.
The police showed up while I
So
lost
I do
my
have a love for
virginity.
the Killers. I'm sorry.
The police showed up while I lost my virginity.
Yeah, we talked about that one. That was
Yeah.
the old convertible.
Yeah, I heard someone say a joke about that the other day. I believe on a podcast. I think it was Tommy Pope, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you lose your virginity in the back of a fucking Camaro too," and I was like, "Shit, the fuck?" He's like, "Bet you someone popped in, huh?" And I was like,
That
"Yeah,
earns
the
you
cops, dude."
That earns you at least 100 Jersey points. Oh man, that gives me an idea for a game, like in another episode. We determine
The Jersey point game?
who's the most Jersey out of the three of us.
Oh, boy, that's a tough one. Honestly, you're gonna win.
I like that.
You're
And then,
gonna
like,
win, even though you're not like
we each have to
the
come up.
Jersey guy.
We each have to come up with like 10 things that we think like make you really Jersey, and they have to be like really specific.
10
and
things
then-
we hate about Jersey.
And then like throughout, we check off which ones we've done or accomplished or experienced or whatever, and then at the end we tally up and decide who's the most Jersey.
See, I'm either gonna have a ton of points or like no points.
Yeah, but losing your virginity in a fucking Camaro, bro.
It's pretty Jersey.
It's pretty Jersey, but it's also pretty
That's
fucking
so
the
good.
South.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it depends on where you are. And what was the girl's name? Did it end in a vowel?
Is Y a vowel?
Sometimes Y. So I'm gonna count it.
Yes.
Yeah, was it Gazpacholetti? Like, was it...
Oh, you're talking about last name? Bell.
I love like whenever my mom and like her friends talk about whoever they
I
have.
speak to people in their first name when I'm making sex with them. Usually.
You don't call them by their last names like a coach.
I said usually. One time,
Come on,
one time I was having sex with a girl while next
come
in the
on,
bed
Miller,
next to me.
give it your all.
While in the bed next to me, her brother was losing his virginity to someone who I had earlier in that day had sex with. So
Canelli, do you even want this dick?
I was becoming Eskimo brothers with this guy while I was fucking his sister
Oh, no.
while he lost his virginity in the same room.
Guys,
Dude, I don't think that I would be able to do that.
And
How are you having sex?
on Two Cubes podcast,
How are you having sex
Joe
in the same room
reveals-
as your sister?
Yeah.
well,
that's
guess
wild.
what? How are you having sex in the same room as your sister? While the dude who's having sex with your sister, that guy, the kid's name was Diogo. So I was going, go Diogo, go. Go Diogo, go. The whole time I'm fucking his sister and becoming Eskimo brothers with him while he fucks another girl in the same room.
Wait, but your sister was also there?
No. Well, my sister was on that trip, but not in the room.
Oh, okay. I was confused by the story because Jack said, like, how are you fucking somebody with your
No,
sister?
I'm saying- I'm saying, how can you do that? How can you be that guy?
could you? Okay.
This
Diogo.
kid- well, he was losing
Fuck
his
with
virginity. I
his-
think he was going to
okay.
take it no matter what. Whatever the circumstance was, I think he was into it.
Go, Diogo, go.
Dude, it's so
Go, Dio, go. That should be our
Go,
outro.
Diogo. Yeah, cue the entrance music.
But no,
Go, Diogo, go. Go. Thanks for joining
I chanted
us on
him.
the Two Cubes podcast.
By the way, I outlasted the Virgin.
where we talk about nonsense.
I did better.
Non-stop nonsense. We love you all.
Go, Dio, go.
We love all 8 of you.
Like, subscribe, listen, and call the hotline at 973-55 something.
973-559-3328.